Fit for Life Radio, episode number 172. Gary here.
Well, here.
Today we're research reviewing from the PN Academy.
Going over some stuff.
Going over a recent new study on daylight and why daylight helps you sleep better.
We're talking about the sun.
Real light.
Not that fake stuff.
Not that artificial light. And it's been coming on pretty fast and furious, the benefits of sunlight beyond vitamin D.
Yeah, it was always thought that, okay, well, like, you need the sun to make vitamin D, and, like, that's the end of it. Like, that's the benefit to being in the sun.
Yeah. But
And
now
it's a little deeper than that.
yes, because if it was just the vitamin D, there'd be a lot more benefits from vitamin D supplementation, but there isn't. And there still seems to be benefits separate to the sunlight, right? So there has to be other factors. And one of the biggest one is, the natural sunlight, it gets, as with anything, everything gets villainized.
Gets a bad rap.
So yes, staying in the sun too long can give you a sunburn, which is inflammation and bad. But also drinking too much water can also kill you and cause hyponatremia, right? So the one thing people have to understand is, like, for the most part, with most any nutrient and thing on the planet, there's typically a sweet spot, right? So, and too much can be bad, yes, but also too little can be bad. And with sunlight, there's different spectrums to the light, right? They range from UVB, which causes vitamin D, starts the process to where your body can synthesize vitamin D, and it also causes sunburn in excess, and UVA rays. But then there's also infrared light rays and different wavelengths of that, and our bodies are used to getting that, right? When you feel like the warmth on your skin, that's an infrared light.
Give me the warmth.
Right? So, and they've connected to where that almost has like an opioid-like addiction. Like humans have like an opioid-like addiction to different sunlight rays.
It feels good.
Yeah. So why are we're attracted to that for a reason, right? So anyways, getting a little off tangent, but yeah, so sunlight is sunlight. There's nothing else like it. And one of those very strong things that is connected to coming on strong is our circadian rhythm, which, then helps with sleep. And when you look around, most people, or ask around, struggle with sleep. And one thing that stands out is, well, at no other time in human history have we been outside less and inside more. Right? So that means we're exposed to very little natural sunlight.
We get this artificial stuff that doesn't give you any of those good rays.
And it's a problem, right? So, and one thing that we're learning is that getting natural sunlight into your eyes early in the day very strongly helps improve circadian rhythms and sleep, right? So you're going to start seeing more studies on it. And here is one from let's see here, where the University of Washington, and they did a study. And ultimately the takeaway was, with a lot of confidence, that it's easier to get a good night's sleep seizing as much daylight as possible. The study they did, the University of Washington wanted to know if the seasonal differences affected their students' sleep habits and altered their body clocks. And by seasonal differences, as we know, days are shorter in the winter, longer in the summer, spring, so you ultimately have less daylight available. And what they did was they basically recruited 500 students who volunteered to wear devices that tracked both their sleep and their exposure to light. And then they compared the data across the 4 academic quarters to see if changes in light exposure altered when the students went to sleep and when they woke up, and how much total sleep they got in between. And what the study found was on school days during the winter, students fell asleep 40 minutes later than they did during the spring. So therefore, one potential explanation is in winter they were exposed to less natural daylight and more artificial light than they were in the summer. And previous research shows that being exposed to insufficient daylight can mess with your circadian clock and make it harder to doze off. So side note is I like, when a lot of this stuff came up, I started keeping a little journal. And
Your sunlight journal?
Yeah, my sunlight journal. So days where it's, I go out in the morning and,
Get some sun in your eyeballs.
Get some sun, are strongly correlated. So this is my own little study, right?
N of 1.
But they're strongly correlated within that evening. I fall asleep sooner. Like on that, like fighting it, you're on the couch fighting it. So I normally we go to bed at 9, and then I'll fall asleep pretty quick. But those days where I'm like purposely kind of out there making note, hey, this is gonna be a strong sunlight day, on purpose, doing my own little experiment. Then I'm falling asleep, dozing off, fighting it. Sometimes at like 7:30, 8, right? So that's why then we saw this, and I was like, oh, that was my experience exactly. Was like I ultimately found myself falling asleep way sooner. And we've had clients, that we give it to as a strategy, and they normally come back with like, oh, that
helped a lot.
So some keys to this are you don't want to wear sunglasses. So that blocks it.
That don't block the stuff.
So glasses,
you got to be outside.
Yeah, glasses and contacts are fine. They say it actually helps funnel the light into your eyes. But yeah, ultimately on a sunny day you need less, and you don't have to go stare into the sun.
No.
Right? You just need to be outside. When it is sunnier, you essentially need less. The lux of the light is so much brighter. On a cloudy day, it still works. You would just technically need to be out there a little longer. It could, I think, be as little as like 5 minutes when it's super sunny.
And then it's maybe 20 to
minutes.
30 on a really cloudy day.
As with anything, just set a habit, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if you have a dog or you just can go for a walk outside for whatever, 15 minutes, that's going to be very helpful.
Yeah. Some is going to be better than 0.
Yeah.
So even if you're not hitting those exact numbers, you're still doing yourself a favor.
Or go outside and drink your coffee in the morning, or, find some way to build it in.
Yeah, build it into the routine.
Into your routine as a habit. That's because that's the only way it's going to be. And here's the thing: is whether it's the winter or summer, you can do this, right?
Yep.
Especially if you make it a habit. So, continuing on with the studies, ultimately.
If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late, so having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's 1 scoop mixed in water once a day and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out. If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late, so having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's one scoop, mixed in water, once a day, and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out.
The biggest takeaway is, and yeah, this is another study. There's going to be probably tons more. Like we said, once people are interested, they're going to get more funding and stuff. But yeah, they basically noticed and had these students with, hooked up to devices for their light exposure and all that. And when they got more outdoor light exposure, they slept better, fell asleep sooner, got more deeper sleep. So ultimately, I like this takeaway. Light management equals sleep management. So the way we're starting to see it, and as a coaching practice and with people, is you almost have to look at light as a nutrient now.
100%.
And like you would prescribe someone to eat more veggies, people need to look at your lifestyle, right? Are you inside all the time? Do you literally spend less than 10 minutes outside all day long most of the year? And then when you do, you have sunglasses on. You might want to get some smart exposure to sunlight, right? So again, for most people, for everyone,
Yeah.
A good way to look at it is get as much natural sunlight as you can early in the day, right? Because earlier in the day, you're gonna have less UV rays, so there's less risk of overexposure. The light's less harsh, and a higher percentage of it is going to be the infrared light. Which seems to have a lot of restorative and protective benefits. But when it comes to your circadian rhythm, sleep, like I said, just getting that light into your eyeballs early in the day.
It sets your clock.
Yeah.
That's basically what you're doing when you get that light, is telling hey, this is the start of the day. And you kind of evolve to know, we sleep when it's dark and we're awake when it's light, and we're kind of set to that. So you're just giving yourself that trigger that, hey, this is the early part of the day, so that when it starts to get dark, your body naturally starts to get tired and you fall asleep.
Yep. And this is now a collective takeaway.
Yeah.
From various studies. It's very, very strongly correlated. So even if it's cloudy, like we said, don't try not to. I know personally, if I go it's most effective when it's super sunny, then I'll not do it some, and then I'll get out of the habit. So again, our recommendation would be try to get as much natural light as you can early in the day, but do so by creating some kind of trigger and habit to where you just do it every day. Pushes you to get outside every day.
No matter what.
That's the thing. And there's little hacks, but again, they're not as with different little lights.
Yeah, light devices
but they're not going to be as good.
Nope.
They're going to be more hassle. It's the difference of a food versus supplement, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I would strongly recommend just build in your day a habit of getting outside early in the day, whether that's to drink your coffee, step out in your backyard, go for a walk the dog, something. And then, if you just can't, there's no way, maybe, or you work funky shifts, then that's where you want to look at different lights and things like that to help. But
because you got to help set that yourself.
Yeah, I mean that's where too, and we've always said this, but it's becoming more apparent. People who work night shifts, it's
the
just against
clock
our,
is just-
biological clock. Like it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, you're fighting against everything that we were,
yeah,
we were built for.
yeah.
So it's hard.
And because the way it works too is, a lot of people are familiar with melatonin.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of build melatonin up in our body by getting that morning sunlight. So it sounds counterintuitive, but and then our melatonin like dips low during the day, and then we kind of have what our body can create, and then when it starts getting dark is when our body kind of releases it.
Yep.
So if your light schedule is jacked up, your melatonin
Will also be jacked up.
processes are jacked up, because again, it goes off of light.
Mm-hmm.
We store it up, build it up from the light signaling in its daytime, and then we release it as light goes away, right? And then that's where, similar under this light topic, but different topic, is, that's the problem too with a lot of the artificial light. And then we're sitting in our house at night with this bright blue light on.
Basically simulating
Daytime.
Like it's still sunny out to your brain.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of times people have trouble sleeping when they have, TV going and the lights on at night,
Yeah.
because it's not nighttime in your
Yep.
in your brain.
And when people are always like, I'm a night owl. And it's like, are you?
Are you a night owl, or are you just around a lot of light and your circadian rhythm's messed up?
Watching TV, staring at your phone, eating late. So all things that signal daytime. You know what? If you turned off all your light, guess what? You couldn't be a night owl because it would be too dark to do anything.
Yeah.
And your body would be like, oh, it's sleepy time, and release melatonin and make you tired, right? Now, there is little variation in this. Some people,
for sure,
do have kind of like
a later clock.
Yeah, later clock or earlier clock. But in general,
no one's clock is to wake up at 4 p.m. and it's just
and
not
stay
what
up
it is.
and stay up all night,
Yeah.
right? So that's where you want to start looking at, okay, your kind of light schedule.
Your sun hygiene.
What did we say? What's the good takeaway? I liked light management equals sleep management.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think because so many people are struggling with sleep, like drill that phase in. If you want to manage your sleep better, you need to manage your light
You have to.
better.
And that means trying to get that good sunlight in the morning, and then trying not to get a lot of light in the evening.
Yeah.
When you're trying to wind down for bed,
Yeah.
blasting yourself with bright lights is just not the best idea.
I saw another study too that was good news. It was in that, how for a while they're like, well, if you kind of staring at phones and blue light, it kind of builds up, and you're scared, and you need to wear these glasses all day, and blah blah. But this one study proves some people are leaning against. Even if you've like stared at that stuff a bunch, if you can like eliminate it like an hour before sleep time, your body kind of seems to
It adjusts.
it adjusts
That's
and can
good.
get to where it needs to go,
Yeah.
right? I know me personally, and yeah, like very few people are going to be like all in, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I've sleep well, and I notice like I don't have to be perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some things I do are we still watch TV.
Same.
It just doesn't bother me. The light from the you're not right up on it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
now if I watch a very stimulating show,
That's what'll do it. If you're getting like jacked up, like
and that's more nervous system stuff.
yeah,
But especially if it's like
watching Dexter before bed.
yeah.
Nah.
So we'll normally maybe have a show and we'll watch an episode or two, but then come 7:30, 8, we normally then watch like a show we've seen a bunch that's very like chill. So
Not
it could be
stimulating
like,
at all.
like right now it's Community, right? And it could be Seinfeld, and it could be The Office.
We watch
stuff
The
like
Office
that,
a lot.
and then wind down. But then I have my phone, and all the phones do this now. Like they have those modes where it can go into grayscale or night mode, which puts it in grayscale or like the little red light. And so that helps. Yeah, do not stare at a blue light screen that's 6 inches from your face. Like
Up until bedtime.
Either get rid of your cell phone an hour before bedtime, or at the bare minimum, put it on one of these, modes. And you'll notice like when your phone's in black and white grayscale, it is like 10 times less stimulating.
It's not very
Like,
fun.
Yeah, it's not as interesting.
Nothing's fun in grayscale.
So that would be a recommendation. Get out, try to get some sunlight early in your eyeballs, and then an hour before your bedtime, try and eliminate bright blue light from your phones and devices.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And as an aside, because we talked about melatonin, taking like a mega dose of melatonin supplements at night is not a normal thing to have to do.
yeah, it's like anything else. You got to remember it's kind of like a hormone in your body, and if you exogenously take it, your body has no need
To produce
to
it.
produce it. So in the short term, you're maybe helping out
Helping
in that
yourself fall
moment,
asleep.
But long term, you're making it harder.
Yeah. So if you are somebody that feels like, hey, I got to lean on melatonin or I just can't sleep, then you're like the person that needs to try to get some morning sunlight.
Yeah.
Just a touch, just a little snack, and see like, hey, does this make a difference over time? You know, and it might not be apparent on like one single day and your life changes, but try it for a week or two and see like, hey, does this start to get easier and easier every night?
Yeah. There you go.
Boom.
See the light.
See the
Look into the light.
look into but don't look directly at the light. There's a weird like I don't know, offshoot off of all of this of people that are like, you need to stare at the sun.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's how you get
There's
all the
also
benefits.
people who say like you should only eat meat
Exactly.
and nothing else.
Like when it seems that extreme, like don't do that. But get the sun in, and that could just be like being outside. Like you're gonna get the sun in your eyes. Like you don't have to look at the sun or
Yeah.
anything.
If you just look at the horizon,
You're good.
you know, you're gonna like light will be entering. your
Yeah.
eyeball.
So just I don't want anybody to feel like they got to do extreme stuff or blind themselves, because no one should ever look at the sun. That's like
Yeah.
rule one of being a 4-year-old is don't look at the sun. So, yeah.
I mean, really, it's almost impossible. Like
I know.
you ever try to stare like
I may have tried and it's not fun.
you blink and it's all you got that little
And you still see it.
that little orb.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. There we have it.
Get your sleep.
Hopefully that helps. Let us know if you try it out.
Yeah.
Does wonders.
If you have any questions, holla.
See ya.
As always, thanks for listening, guys. If you want to learn more, check us out at coastalfitnessva.com or garydeagle.com. We'll see you next time.